There's a couple things that make Lebanon a little bit different. Number one, every month we have to draw in a pool of jurors to this county. We have criminal trials. We then follow that up with civil trial. And we have to bring in a group of people. And this county in the state of Pennsylvania, Lebanon County, has one of the best reputations for people coming in. I think we're running around 97, 98%. Very seldom do I have to send deputies out on Monday. What we do a call for trial, and then we pick jurors for trials once a month at the beginning of trial week. Very seldom do we have to send people out, because the people of this county take it very seriously. When they are called in as jurors in Lebanon County, they go. And I gotta tell you, if you go to Berks County, you go to Dauphin County and talk to their sheriff, and they'll tell you they might get maybe 35% participation. And they have a real problem bringing people in to be able to man the juries that are picked. Lebanon County is also really good for participation at the polls. Lebanon County has a great amount of participation. People who want to come and work at the voting polls. Some counties say, oh, it's tough getting 2 or 3 people to come into a poll. In Lebanon County, we actually have to sometimes send people away. We have that many workers that want to come in and work as volunteers at the poll. And that makes me proud to know that I am working in a county that has participation like that. Let me just tell you a little bit about the sheriff's office. I currently have 21 deputies working in the sheriff's office. We have 21. And out of the 21, we have 3 female deputies, the rest are male. Our deputies must go to a 19-and-a-half-week police academy. It's basically a police academy at State College. They are there, they live there for 5.5 months. They come back to us, then they can work. Every deputy must be trained and certified to work. That's state law. I have 4 office staff who keep our office in paperwork. We have so much paperwork that is generated in our office that we have, one of the things we do, of course, is serve. We serve paperwork. Constant flow of attorneys coming into our office with needs that must be served, and they must be served in a certain amount of time. It's legally proficient. If it goes past the amount of time, we could have a problem. The attorney could have a problem. A plaintiff could have a problem. It must be served within a certain amount of time. Anywhere from 100 to 125 inmates a week. We had 2 deputies leave early this morning to take a new load of inmates from Lebanon County. Sentence is over 2 years. If it's a 2-year sentence or longer, the judge has the privilege of sending them to state prison here in Pennsylvania. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing to get them out of our Lebanon County jail and send them to state prison. Actually, they have more programs in state prison. There is more health care afforded to them in state prison. They have educational programs that's afforded to them in state prison. Load them up and they will be sent to Camp Hill. Inmates from Lebanon County are kept there for about a month. They are graded, they are tested. They like to see what kind of a person they are, and then they can be sent out to 25 other state prisons. We have 26 state prisons in Pennsylvania. We also bring in inmates up every day to the courthouse. We have to go down early in the morning. We send deputies down early in the morning. They load inmates up, they cuff them up and shackle them. Every inmate that is brought into the courthouse is cuffed and shackled. Their legs are shackled with leg irons. Their stomach is secured with a belly chain, and then we lock handcuffs to the belly chain so that they cannot raise the handcuffs. They can't raise their arms above. I have 4 cells in the basement of the courthouse, and we keep inmates there sometimes from 7 o'clock in the morning till the end of court, 5:30 in the afternoon, depending. Our deputies, for years and years and years, when we come in in the morning, if the deputy is assigned to court, we always had the deputy lock and secure his handgun in the sheriff's office, because the president judge for many years did not want handguns brought into the courtroom, and there was oftentimes a good reason for that. If an inmate were to grab a deputy's gun, we got a problem. That's a big security issue. A donation from a local businessman, and I'll tell you, it was Lanny Huffman of Huffman Insurance. He was so gracious to donate the money for me to be able to buy what's known as a level 3 holster for each and every deputy. Every deputy is now wearing what's called a level 3 retention holster. They've been trained. We did a 3-hour training for each deputy to learn to use this holster. Our 4 county judges together, and I put on a demonstration for them with one of my deputies using a level 3 holster, and I gave the judges a chance. I gave them an opportunity to try to take that weapon away from the deputy. I let them do anything they could to get that weapon from the deputy, and they couldn't. But by doing this allows our deputies to now wear their weapon in the courtroom. So if our deputies are on the sheriff's office is on the basement of the courthouse, protect, to secure anywhere in the courthouse. So this was a plus for us to be able to do this, and it didn't cost you all, county taxpayers. It didn't cost the taxpayers anything, and that's a good thing when you have a businessman who's willing to step up. Right now I'm getting a new 40-inch television screen installed in the sheriff's office, and that 40-inch television screen is being split with 4 different monitors to view our 4 cell blocks, so that when there's a tussle in the cell block, and we have this a lot, even wearing the belly chains and the handcuffs, these people are continually fighting in the cell blocks when they're there for court during the day, headbutting, trying to kick. It gets really tight. When you have 50 inmates in 4 cell blocks, or 60 sometimes on Wednesdays when we have criminal miscellaneous, we might have 60 inmates or more in 4 cell blocks. It's become standing room only, and it gets tight in there. So now we're going to have a DVR that will record everything. We are allowed to do that because we are the jailer then. We become the jailer, just like expected of us to watch them. It's required for their safety. For their safety. Even an inmate does not deserve to be beaten up or pummeled or headbutted or bitten while they're in the cell blocks.
Have you seen an increase in those over the last few years?
In the carry permits, it started going up in, I'm thinking it was around 08. It was about 2008. It started actually going up to where we are now. This county, this little Lebanon rural county of farms and mountain land and agriculture, we are now at about 35. We are issuing 3,500 licensed to carry concealed permits a year.
So 4 years, right?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. It's a $20 fee. It goes to the Pennsylvania State Police for the equipment. They give us the equipment. We use the equipment to generate the card and do the check. We have to do a criminal history background check on every person that applies. One other thing I'm seeing is the amount of ladies, the amount of females, husbands and wives coming in for the license to carry together, has the right to revoke. Actually, it's required of the sheriff to revoke if it is made notice to him of criminal charges, especially anything that would have any violence involved. I'm not talking retail theft, but assault, aggravated assault, terroristic threats, anything like that that has a violent connotation to it.
Permit gives you permission to carry
Concealed.
concealed.
Yes.
I understand that, but where throughout the state? Anywhere?
No, Philadelphia is still good.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then, but out of state.
But out of state.
That's a whole another ballgame.
Out of state, be very, very careful, especially traveling into New York State. There's a lot of states that we have reciprocity with that recognize our license to carry. A lot of our southern states, Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Alabama, but Ohio and west of Ohio, we have no problem. New Jersey is a little funny. You got to be careful in New
Maryland's
Jersey.
probably not great either.
Right, right. You know, she left it known right away that she was carrying, and that was a good thing.
Talk a little bit about your efforts with the security at the courthouse.
Okay. Recently, I sent one of my deputies away to be trained and certified so that he could come back and train all of our deputies. We have now trained to respond to an armed intruder in the courthouse or other county buildings, to enhance the security in the courthouse, to enhance the security of other county buildings that we sometimes respond to. When you come to the courthouse, you as a person coming in there to do business, you have the right to feel safe. You really do. It's your courthouse. Houses have to deal with domestic issues. Let's say, I don't know how else to put it, domestic issues between spouses. And that gets ugly. Some courthouses, we here in Lebanon County, we have 2 entrances for people coming in. Most courthouses in Pennsylvania have done away with more than 1 entrance. There's a reason for that. It makes a more secure courthouse. It does take more time. And sometimes people coming in to do business in the courthouse, time is very important to them.
Training, will there be training sessions for the monitors?
Yes, we are doing we are getting a deputy certified now to train our door monitors, and they are going to be trained, yes. Good question.